All right, First Chronicles 23, let's call this one Organized for Rest, because as we mentioned in past chapters, once David got his why in order, then he was able to basically do some of the same things he had done before, numbering the people of Israel. But this time he was able to do it with God's blessing, because as we're going to see in this chapter, he is numbering them for a specific purpose. This time his why is to get them organized for the years ahead, making sure that, once again, Solomon is in a position to not only succeed personally, but lead the nation in a healthy path. And so that's what we're going to see here, as we're going to see the duties of the Levites, looking forward to their new time in Israel, where they no longer work around the tabernacle, but the temple. Once again, that David wasn't going to be able to build, but beyond simply preparing to have the physical structure built, he's getting the workforce in order. And this is how he's going to do it, beginning in verse 24. We'll pick up midstream. These were the sons of Levi by their fathers' houses, the heads of fathers' houses, as they were listed according to the numbers of the names of the individuals from 20 years old and upward, who were to do the work for the service of the house of the Lord. For David said, "The Lord, the God of Israel, has given rest to his people, and he dwells in Jerusalem forever." And so the Levites no longer need to carry the tabernacle or any of the things for its service. For by the last words of David, the sons of Levi were numbered from 20 years old and upward, for their duty was to assist the sons of Aaron for the service of the house of the Lord, having the care of the courts and the chambers, the cleansing of all that is holy, and any work for the service of the house of God. And from there, it's going to go on to describe their duties. And two things caught my attention. One, as we already mentioned, David's numbering the people again. Isn't that what got him in trouble in chapter 21? Well, this time he is, as we said, he is doing it for the purpose of organizing them, which is what is specifically going to state toward the beginning of the chapter. And not only is he organizing them, he is organizing them to work more efficiently as Israel moves into a greater period of, as it literally says, rest, which reminded me of two companies I had a chance to work for back to back. They'll both remain nameless, but one was a relatively well-known local employer that paid pretty well, but didn't pay a whole lot of attention to maintaining its physical structure. And so the gentleman who trained me in was a great guy, and he was well known for working really well with less than optimal equipment. So the better he became at working with less than optimal equipment, it seemed like it made it the less likely the company was actually going to invest in updating the equipment, which was fine for him. But one of the things we quickly learned was there was high turnover, even though they were a relatively high-paying local employer. And I actually left a lower-paying job to go there, but that lower-paying job was at a nationally recognized employer that invested regularly in making sure that maintenance and upkeep was just the standard. As a matter of fact, I don't remember a 24-hour period where if a machine malfunctioned, it wasn't back up and running by the next day. Whereas at the higher-paying employer, even though I got to work with an extremely skilled man, I got to see him struggle the entire time I was there working with equipment that was not suited for his level of talent. So one of the things that seemed to stand out to me from this period of Israel's history is the way in which David does not simply seem to be building the temple to be marveled at, but as a technological advancement for a period during which Israel's workforce is going to have a more restful period of labor. Understanding, as we've already mentioned, rest is distinguished from leisure as the amount of downtime that allows a workforce to move forward more efficiently when they actually get back to work. And so in organizing the construction of the temple, it seems that David is making a technological advancement that makes it easier for the Levites, at least, to be more efficient in the work that they're doing as they're moving toward retirement. And so just as David seems to be organizing Israel so that the Levites can not only work well, but rest well, God willing, we find environments that are likewise committed to being organized in a way that allows us to efficiently work when it's time to work, so that we can rest when it's time to rest, especially as we move closer to retirement.